About the time that I was creating this channel, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies were making their first inroads into popular culture. I was dabbling with mining, and I have wallets for Bitcoin and Litecoin. They're both on a hard drive somewhere that I pulled out of my old computer. I wonder how many hours it's going to take for Bitcoin QT to update its blockchain file. I never really took mining seriously because I don't have the hardware necessary to really achieve anything. And while I do have a fraction of Bitcoin, it wasn't of any real value then. I kind of walked away from it after it hit $600 and then immediately dropped. Anything that I got from mining wasn't going to be enough to pay for the electricity used during mining. It was just going to be a net loss. Bitcoin recently broke $3,000 US. And it made me wonder, what's changed? The answer is a lot, and nothing. Bitcoin is stored in digital wallets, and that's a broad term. When I was first dabbling with it a couple of years ago, there were only 2 or 3 options for digital wallets. Now there are several options for just about every operating system there is, including several that are cloud-based and a few options that are standalone hardware. The number of places that now accept Bitcoin and other currencies have just about quadrupled, and there are roundabout ways of spending Bitcoin at places that don't actually accept Bitcoin. This erodes one of the biggest stumbling blocks to wide adoption. It's no longer inconvenient or limiting to use. However, one of the remaining reasons for it not being adopted so quickly is the volatility. That is what has not changed. The reason why it's so volatile. Bitcoin's volatility is born from the largest selling points for using Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a decentralized global currency that is not restricted by borders, not controlled by any government, and has an element of anonymity. There is a finite number of Bitcoin, and that means there is no inflation. It is a currency that is a wide open capitalist market, for better or for worse. Financial anarchy might be a better description. Safe transactions no longer need third-party organizations. However, those third-party organizations do help stabilize the value of traditional currencies. For Bitcoin, there are no regulators or industry to buffer the market swings. So Bitcoin's value has a history of drastic volatility, swinging by hundreds of dollars in a day. When I started researching Bitcoin, the price was about $2,500. Roughly 3 days later, it breaks $3,000 and then back down to $2,500. That volatility does scare away a lot of people. Every currency has its growing pains when it's first implemented. After all, Bitcoins are only 8 years old. Something that does trigger a spike in volatility is a surge in adoption. An influx of people buying in would trigger a raise in price. At a certain point, people who have been holding the currency sell off for a little bit of profit taking. The chaotic history of Bitcoin value does show a trend for the patches of volatility being shorter in duration and having a smaller percentage to the price swing. It's kind of hard to believe when today's prices move up and down by $100 to $200, but the current percentage of change is only 5%, and the value is well over $2,000. In 2011, the value of Bitcoin could swing as much as 15% in a daily session, but the value was just breaking $1 US then. Right now, it is more stable, it just doesn't look like it. It's worth mentioning that some people aren't interested in the cryptocurrencies. However, they do see a value in Bitcoin, but it isn't its financial value. It's in the 8-year real-world proof-of-concept test that has been replicated several times to varying degrees of success of its record-keeping system, the blockchain. The process of recording and verifying transactions through a mathematical process that makes it impossible to change the record of one transaction without having to rebuild the records of every transaction that followed, a feat that would take an impractical amount of processing power to do. That makes Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies extremely secure. There are efforts to apply the concept of blockchain to parts of other industries, like contracts in civil and corporate law, as well as public records. There is an open source project called Ethereum that is attempting to make contracts using blockchains. In short, it's a more web-friendly system that allows people to build contracts, automated scripts. They aim to manage everything from digital rights to sports betting. One of the things that became very clear while reading up on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is that there are many wild theories on why it broke 3,000. I see articles saying that Bitcoin is a bubble that will break at any moment, and I see just as many articles saying that the value is going to break 1 million in the next year. Some people are speculating that the price of Bitcoin has gone up because companies are buying Bitcoin to pay off ransomware. Well, another theory is Bitcoin has gone up because of extreme use in Venezuela, where people are facing hyperinflation and a general economic collapse. I'm sure it's some combination of the two plus other factors. But no one has any idea what to expect, what Bitcoin will do next, how cryptocurrencies will affect the world, and how big of an effect they will have. It's all speculation. Thanks for watching, and good luck. To subscribe, click the channel icon on the top left. Top right is the previous video, and below that is a random suggestion from YouTube. Thanks again.